Welcome to Module 5. In this module, we're going to talk all about color. Some concepts will be familiar to you from the last module, but we're going to expand on them. Let's take a quick moment to review what we've learned so far. So far, you've learned about brand guides, done the hard work of target audience research and competitive research, learned all about logos, and now we're really digging into the visual components of a brand with color. In this module, we will also start to really connect the foundational work you did in Module 2 with building the assets of your brand. For reference, when I use the term brand assets, I'm talking about your colors, your messages, your images, all the things we're covering in this course. In this first lesson, we're going to explore why color is such an important piece of your branding and cover a few color-related terms to lay the groundwork for the next lesson. To begin, I want to read you the intro paragraph to one of my Pantone color books. I think it does a great job of explaining how color has become such an important part of branding and marketing. Of all the forms of nonverbal communication, color is the most instantaneous method of conveying messages and meaning. Before humans learned to appreciate the aesthetics of color, there were far more practical aspects of communicating with color. Our very survival depended on the ability to identify necessary objects and/or warning signals, whether they are animal, vegetable, or mineral, and color is an integral part of the identification process. Among other uses, color stimulates and works synergistically with all of the senses, symbolizes abstract concepts and thoughts, expresses fantasy or wish fulfillment, recalls another time or place, and produces an aesthetic or emotional response. There is no better place to gauge the effectiveness of color than in the marketplace, where it is a vital key in communicating a positive, enticing, and irresistible image to a product. Often called the silent salesperson, color must immediately attract the consumer's eye, convey the message of what the product is all about, create a brand identity, and most importantly, help to make the sale. At the very least, as on a web page or in a print ad, it must create enough interest or curiosity to induce the would-be buyer to find out more about the product or service. As we begin our exploration of color, let's start with some terminology that will be important for having a deeper conversation about the impact of color, starting with the color wheel. You are probably already familiar with this tool. The color wheel is a circular arrangement of the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, and it visually illustrates color and temperature, i.e. warm versus cool. It's used for creating color combinations. The term hue is synonymous with the word color and can be used interchangeably. Red, yellow, and blue are the primary colors or hues. Green, orange, and violet are the secondary colors, and tertiary colors are a mixture of the two secondary colors. Saturation is the intensity of a color. Saturation is determined by how little or how much gray a color contains. In its purest form, a hue is at maximum saturation, since these colors are not grayed out. Pure hues or colors are bold, clear, bright, vivid, or rich. The grayer or more neutral a color is, the less it is saturated. Less saturated colors are described as soft, muted, subtle, toned down, misty, dull, or dusty. Value refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. Lightened values are tints. Darkened values are shades. Pastels have a high brightness value, while black has the lowest value of all colors. Color value can play a big role in how easy or difficult it is to read text, i.e. the readability of your content. Consequently, value plays an important role in accessible design. Let me show you an example. Red is a color that is often used to draw attention, but when it's placed on a dark blue or black background, it can be hard to read. The reason is that the value of red and the value of dark blue or black are close on the value scale. To test the value, we can change our image to grayscale. Then the color information is removed. All we have left is the value of the color. And we can see that there's lower contrast between red and the darker colors. I think these colors are still a little bit easier to read on the screen than they are in print. So next time you're at a stoplight behind a car that has a bumper sticker with red type on a black, test how easy it is to read. Speaking of accessible design, it's important to remember that some people are colorblind. While there is a wide range of color blindness, the most common type is the inability to distinguish between red and green. To be inclusive, it's best practice not to use red on a green background or green on a red background for text and infographics. Much of the human reaction to color is subliminal, which is where the idea of color psychology comes into play. When our eyes perceive color in early infancy, we start to formulate feelings about colors that carry over into our adult life. Childhood memories are so involved with color that they're indelibly stamped on our psyches forever. We may not even be aware that we are remembering the colors associated with a specific incident, but our brains have been recording these color moments all along, and they continue to shape how we react to colors as adults. Some experts believe that humans have an ancient wisdom, that throughout the eons of evolutionary history, we have an associative memory concerning color, as well as other aspects of design. Whether it's ancient wisdom or not, color associations are embedded in humans' experience of the natural world. Colors are perceived as warm or cool because of ancient universal associations. Red, orange, and yellow are associated with the warmth of fire and sun, while blue, green, and violet connect in the mind's eye with the coolness of sea, sky, foliage, and outer space. Most people don't realize how much color influences them. It's working its magic before they even have time to think. The moment we see a color, it triggers an instinctive reaction, shaping our perceptions and decisions in an instant. Pop quiz. What type of cola is nestled in the ice pictured here? I bet you said Coca-Cola. And you, of course, are correct. Coke's consistent use of this particular version of red has it branded in your brain that this color of red on a can is always classic Coke. As you can see, color isn't just decoration. It's the reason certain brands are instantly recognizable, why some signs catch your attention, and why packaging can make or break a product on a shelf. Take a quick trip down the grocery aisle. Your eyes land on a package for about 0.03 seconds, literally the blink of an eye. In that split second, the color has to grab your attention, tell you what's inside, and most importantly, make you want it. That's the power of color. It sends a message before words do. In the next lesson, we're going to look at some colors and their common associated meanings. While some associations come from nature and are universal, others are cultural, and as we already discussed, many are personal. While there is no way for us to understand someone's personal associations with color, without them telling us at least, we can explore the cultural aspects. In this course, we're going to be looking at associations that are common in the US. People from other countries may have different associations based on their culture and traditions. It's important to keep that in mind if your target audience happens to include people from another country. While there are numerous studies related to color and its impact, my goal is simply to give you the most important points as it relates to branding. So that brings us to the end of this lesson. I will see you in the next lesson where we will look at the primary and secondary hues on the color wheel and explore their meanings. See you there!